So another phrase from the video, givers are your most valuable people, but if they're not careful, they burn out,
음,
right? And that's only a phrase from it. It started out with saying the whole sentence is the first thing that's really critical is to recognize that givers are your most valuable people, but if they're not careful, they burn out.
let's see.
So, yeah, burn out. And, interestingly enough, this has nothing to do with the fire. This has nothing to do with heat or getting burned physically in any way,
음.
right? Have you heard the expression burn out or burned out?
So in Korea, we call it burnout. So if we pronounce it burnout, then can you guess what it is, what it means?
Spell it
Burnout.
for me.
No, I'm not gonna spell that because it's Korean, but
Oh,
we call it burnout.
bon out.
Yeah, burnout.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be a similar expression to burnout,
Right. But
right?
yeah, it's like a Korean pronunciation, I guess. Instead of like, pronouncing it burnout, we call it burnout. So that it's
Oh,
kind of easy for us to pronounce it.
and to me, it sounds like you're leaving out the R in burn.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
Okay.
because we don't have R sound in Korean.
Yeah, and that's a really common sound in English. And I know that that's a sound that can be trouble for a native Korean speaker. And
Right.
I think it's, practice, practice. So say burn out.
Burnout.
Mhm.
Thank
And
you.
yep. And I think if you're intentional, if you see like, oh, and I think it becomes intuitive. It happens automatically. But if you say to yourself, oh, there's a word with an R, and I know that's a possible problem for me. So I'm going to just be really intentional and focused when I pronounce the word.
Good point.
Yeah. Say careful.
Careful.
Say givers,
Givers.
right? There.
There.
Yeah. So even in these few words, what do we have? One, two, three four R's.
Yeah.
So pretty common in
Especially
English.
there, that one is really like, hard to pronounce because we don't have TH sound, we
Oh,
don't have
good
R
point.
sound. Yeah, this combination of everything basically.
Yeah, and by, there, this one,
Mhm,
They apostrophe R, there, Their, meaning
mhm,
their dog, their
mhm.
house, or their There, like, the lamp is over there.
Right. I mean, they all like, sound like same to me.
Those
They
words, they
are
do, they sound identical,
identical, right? Yeah,
identical.
gotcha.
Right.
There.
And it's context, right? You have to think about how's the word being used to know which one it was. And
Yeah,
I don't know about Korean, but it sure seems to me there are a lot of words in English that are like that.
right. Hmm.
Yeah. So now that we've thoroughly discussed the R sound and somewhat the TH sound, would you read what we have up there on the screen?
Of course, givers are your most valuable people, but if they're not careful, they burn out.
Yeah, and that was really good because I could tell you were being focused and intentional about the TH and the R,
Yeah,
and everything was pronounced well.
thank you.
So whether I call it burnout and you call it burnout,
Hmm.
I think you maybe know what this word means.
I think, is it kind of being tired? Like,
It's pretty much exactly being tired. But to me,
mm,
being tired is like, oh, I'm sleepy. I'm so tired. But burnout means more that you've lost your energy or your enthusiasm, either because you're working too hard or because you're stressed. You just kind of like that's it. I'm done. I can't do anymore.
okay.
Does that feel different to you than being tired?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna ask that question, but you already answered to that question.
Ta-da! What can I say? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I
okay, well,
see the
good.
difference. Thank you.
That's, yeah.
시간이 없어서 영어를 연습할 환경이 안 돼서 자꾸 영어 실력이 줄고만 있는 것 같아서 고민이신가요? 여러분도 이제 미국 원어민 선생님과 50분간 100% 영어로 진행하는 수업을 통해서 조금 더 정확하고 자연스러운 영어를 배울 수 있습니다. 저처럼 여러분들도 하실 수 있어요. 고민하지 마시고 지금 바로 시작해보세요.
So, for example, she burned out from all the extra work needed to finish the project. So, if I hear burned out, that doesn't indicate to me that she's tired and needs to go home. It's been a long day. It tells me that she's overworked.
Gotcha.
Like she's put forth too much energy and is just done. And I looked it up too that burned spelled this way,
Mm-hmm.
BURNED,
Mm-hmm.
could also be spent burnt, BURNT.
T, gotcha.
T.
But
And
they are
that
same.
those, yeah, they're used what we would call interchangeably. So, you can use it either. I could say she burnt out from all the extra work, or she burned out.
I see.
So how about reading that one? Watch your R's.
She burned out from all the extra work needed to finish the project.
Say project.
Project.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Okay.
Project.
So, and some synonyms for burnout or burned out, exhausted. And to me, exhausted is not the same as tired, right? I feel like there's tired and then there's even more exhausted. Grow weary, tire out, wear out. I think those are all synonyms. Personally, I like the phrase burnout better because it really indicates a more extreme situation, I think. What if you think of a fire, even though it has nothing to do with getting physically burned, but what if you think of a fire that, you start a fire, it flames like it does, all the heat and all the glory of it. And then it's done, it burns out. So it's like this explosion of heat and color, and then it's done. The fire has burned out. And I think that's kind of the image you get when you think of, a person burning out from some kind of task or job or project.
I see.
Yeah. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree.
All right. So now what do you think? Has there been a time when you ever burned out on something?
Yes, especially in South Korea. When I was working for like a small size company in South Korea, and then sometimes I had to work on weekends.
Oh,
Probably, yeah, and then I didn't get like paid for that at all.
extra pay. Yeah.
Yeah, extra pay. So I burned out at the time. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I would agree, right? Everybody needs some time off. And if they take advantage of you and work you too hard, the end result could be that you're done altogether because you've burned out.
Right.
But great use of the expression.
Thank you.